Welcome to SpellCast, the Gaming Wizards podcast. Can we talk about how your Tomodachi just transformed into a magical girl with the power of rice?
Yes, we absolutely can.
Because that game
That
is
is a thing
something
that-
magical.
That is a thing that happened.
It seems like an interesting game. I've seen bits and pieces about it here and there, and it's like, okay, that's kind of funny, but like that right there, I think that sold me on it. I kind of want to get the game now just because of that.
Just because that happened.
Yes. This is just held up a bowl of rice by the power of rice, transformed into a magical girl, and I was like, really?
Yep. But yeah, I mean, that aside, I would recommend it. It's like people would say it's like The Sims. I think it's more like the virtual pet kind of games, like Tamagotchi and that kind of stuff, like the Gigapets and all that. Except you can have like 30 of them.
Dude.
But yeah, like they just ask you for things, and you can be like, they'll be like, I'm hungry, and you can be like, well, have a bowl of rice or some buffalo wings. And it's actually kind of interesting seeing how they evolve over time, and seeing who becomes friends and who ends up fighting with each other, and because it's like sometimes it's what you'd expect. Like pretty much all the comic shorts characters are friends.
That's really funny.
Yeah. I was like, yay! They don't hate each other.
It's kind of working
Like everybody's
out.
even friends with Label Buddy, which is,
I mean, yeah.
That's okay.
they're friends. I mean, just because he's the one that dies all the time and is usually the butt of the joke,
Yeah,
doesn't mean they're not friends.
exactly.
They need someone around to be a sacrificial lamb.
Except he's like unable to actually die.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, he died. He'll be back.
I know I had ideas for like how to work that into like the overarching story. Have some crazy big reveal like he's God or something.
That explains everything. It does? I mean, the fact that it doesn't explain anything explains everything.
Yeah.
Wrap your head around that.
That makes sense to me.
Uh,
But yeah, so you've been playing that on your 3DS. Have you gotten anything else yet?
not yet. Like, I got a Walmart gift card for Christmas, and, like, last week I went to see if I could get, like, Smash Brothers or Pokemon or something. They were out of fucking everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, if you can find it, Pokemon, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I was like, yay!
Ones.
I'm going to get a Pokemon game while everyone else is still playing it.
Yeah, I really like what they did with the new one because it still has all the features of the old one, but like they're updated for the new one. So like
the contests and
like,
everything.
For example, like the features of X and Y. You had like street passes. You could send like powers and stuff to your friend that like increase catch rate or attack and all that. Like that's still all there in the Ruby Sapphire remakes. But they also kind of like use that to update stuff like the secret bases because
you
could trade like trainer cards in the original ones. Like when you linked up, like you trade Pokemon and then you trade trainer cards by looking at their card or whatever. And you would get like news stories about stuff they do, and you'd be able to find their secret base.
Yeah.
Well, that's all in there as like you basically have like the Pokénav is the Pokénav Plus, and as you play through the first like couple of hours of play, you get like chips for it. Basically, like people will upgrade it and be like, "Oh, here you can have this app." So you eventually get the like news one where it does all that. Like it, you find out where people's secret bases are, and it tells you where like about like different stuff that they've done. Like the Wonder Trade thing, it'll tell you about Wonder Trades.
Oh,
that happen.
Okay.
So, like, when you Street Pass, you get this data from other people. And they also added this feature where you can sneak up on Pokemon.
Yeah, I remember that in the demo.
Yeah, so it's cool, though, because, like, you see the rustling grass, and there's usually something special about that Pokemon. Not always, but usually. Like, the more times you encounter the same Pokemon, the higher level the, like, search function becomes. So you get, like, more info about it.
Oh.
So, like, at this point, I've run into plenty of Poochyena. So now when I see a Poochyena, it'll tell me, like, if it has good stats.
Oh, that's cool.
So, there's, like, a stat thing, and it'll have up to 3 stars, and each star it has, like, highlighted is a stat that has, like, its maximum in, or whatever.
Oh.
And then, it'll also tell you, like, what their first move is, because some of them have, like, special attacks that are harder to get. And then it'll also tell you, like, what Pokemon ability it has, because some of them have rare abilities.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So, like, the way it introduces it to you, you catch a, like, Poochyena, and I think the one it caught me was, like, level 6. It had, like, Thunderfang or something. Well, not a couple minutes later, I see one in the grass that's, like, level 13, knows Firefang, and it also knew Bite, so I was like, fuck it, I'll catch that one. So, unfortunately, I didn't keep the one that I started with in my party, which I gave the name Bark Bark, I'm a Dog.
Bark Bark, is that... Are there spaces in that, or is it just
No.
Bark Bark, I'm a Dog?
Bark Bark, I'm a Dog. I mean, you know, like, parts are capitalized to emphasize where, like, the words are, so it's not just one weird long thing, but, yeah, you know, it's Bark Bark, I'm a Dog.
Bark Bark, I'm a Dog, use Bite.
But, I keep forgetting what I named the other one. It was something else kind of, like, silly like that. I've been naming every single Pokemon I catch. So, we'll see how long I go before I run out of ideas. I already caught the cat thing and named it Meow, I'm a Cat.
Okay. What happens when you run out of ones that are based on animals?
Well, so, like, Zigzagoon, I was like, what could I name my Zigzagoon? Ziggs? No. Ziggy Stardust. But there's not, like, enough space for it, so I had to use, like, the little star symbol.
Oh.
So it has just, like, a star symbol in the middle of its name.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is special.
Yeah, I'll show you some of them later, because I got some that are funny.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna try again tomorrow to see if I can find a fucking copy of Pokemon or Smash. Like, if they have Smash Brothers or Pokemon, I'll take whatever one I find. But if they have both, then I'll probably go with Pokemon and, like, download Smash Brothers later or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like, Smash Bros is good on the 3DS. I've been enjoying it the time I've played with it, but I don't know. Since Smash is such, like, a social game, like, it's something that you play with friends, like, you get together at, like, someone's house and you all play. Like, there are advantages to having it on the 3DS for, like, you know, you can unlock stuff and, you know, you can still transfer, like, character data if you make, like, characters with custom movesets that you like. You can transfer that to, like, a Wii U and vice versa, but I'm not sure if it's really worth getting it on the 3DS at this point with the console one being out. I don't know.
It's like... You buy the 3DS version because it's the one that's out, and you want to play it before, like, the console one is, like, released. It's like, yay, it's out! Oh, there's the console version. I guess I'll play it. It's like...
Personally, I knew when they announced it I was going to get both versions. I was like, you know what? I'll get both versions, because I'll have the one that I can have, like, with me when I'm, like...
It's like, I just want to play the damn thing.
Yeah.
It's like going to a tournament on launch day just to play the game and not caring if you actually win.
Oh, man. Like Brawl?
Yeah.
And then you took
and then actually almost winning the fucking tournament.
Yeah.
Fucking Zelda.
That was brutal.
Uh,
It's okay. I got eliminated twice. Like, I should have been eliminated previously, and there was someone who, like, left already, and the person who they were supposed to play against still wanted to play, so I ended up, like, playing that person, and I barely lost that fight. Like, they were playing Kirby, I was playing Marth, and, because I practiced a bunch with Marth in Melee, knowing that Roy wouldn't be in it. So, that was the character I was using, and, we actually went to sudden death.
Oh.
So, like, we ended it equal, and it went to super sudden death, and so we spawn in, he goes into rock, like, right away.
Oh.
And I was like, for whatever reason, I always had this thing when I would play Marth, like, I always want to do the side B combo.
Yeah.
Because I was actually good at, like, executing it on time, which was really hard in Melee, but they made it easier and easier with each game, I think. But, so, even though, like, okay, it's Luigi's Mansion, he's on, like, the top of the stage as a rock, I could easily just wait under him, and as soon as he come out, do my up B. But no, I jump up there, and I try to run at him, and he kicks me, and I die. So, like...
That's what you get for trying to show off.
And, like, even at that moment, I was like, I played that so wrong. I could have... God, I'm an idiot.
I've made a terrible mistake.
Like, I don't know why I always want to do the side B moves, but it's, like, what I default to. The worst is when, like, I mess up my timing, so I just keep doing, like, the first hit of it, and I can't, like, do the rest of the combo. I've done that a couple times since then, where I'm just like, derp. But had I known I would become so good with Zero Suit Samus, I would have played her at the tournament because she's good. It's that backflip kick. Which,
yeah.
Which they kind of nerfed it in the new one. Like,
I imagine they probably did.
Like, you know how you could, like, if you were holding the stick, you could, like, jump backwards? Because normally she jumps forward and, like, turns around. And if you just keep doing it, she goes back and forth.
Yeah.
Well, in Brawl, if you were, like, holding the stick back a bit, you would jump backwards. So you could, like, control which direction you were going. You can't really do that in the new one.
Oh.
So, like, it's a little harder to, like, aim it sometimes when you want to, like, do tricky things with it. I understand why they nerfed it, because it was a really, like...
dickish thing to just keep doing.
Well, yeah, there was a time when I was playing with a couple friends where, I want to say one of them was Ganondorf and the other was Captain Falcon. And they tried to punch me, and I would just jump between the two of them. So, like, I'd dodge one's punch and then dodge the other's, and just back and forth. This went on for longer than it should have. One of them should have caught on quicker than any of them did, and I eventually just, like, jumped behind one of them and ended up kicking him off the edge. I love that move.
You're not even winning by doing this, says you.
Says you. I can dodge you for days, and eventually I'll just do that little kick that sends everyone flying.
The amazing thing would be if you got them to punch each other out.
That would have been funny.
Like simultaneous Ganon punch versus Falcon punch, and you jump out of the middle and they hit each other.
That would have been funny.
That's like the kind of stuff that, like, that happens in a tournament and everyone just, like, goes insane.
Yeah, everyone starts screaming, "Oh, yeah! Wombo combo!"
Except no.
But that's definitely what happens at tournaments. Yeah. I've been there. But New Smash is fun. I still need to get a Wii U because I want to play more of it, but, like, I have a hard time focusing on handheld games in general.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to, like, really keep going at it when it's like, yeah, but I could just get on my computer and do whatever.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that before, but I have, like, the opposite thing where I focus more on handhelds just because, like, not that I focus on them, but I get less done more often, so it feels like I focus more on them just based on the amount of progress I make.
You kind of... You do it a little more often in, like, smaller spurts. Whereas I'm the type of person to just sit there and be like, I'm going to play this game for the next day.
Yeah. It's like reading a couple pages of a book versus an entire chapter every time you sit down to read it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'll do a little bit here, and put it down for a couple hours, maybe a day, and then I'll go back and play it a little more and make a little more progress.
I've noticed I've picked up quite a few RPGs on my, like, DS. Like, I have Final Fantasy 3, Final Fantasy 4, Bravely Default, and I never really get through those games. Like, Chrono Trigger, as much as I wanted to play it, I only got, like, an hour or two in before, like, I stopped playing it on my DS.
Yeah, and then we Let's Played it.
Yeah, and I finally got to fully experience it like I'd wanted. But the one game that I've played almost to completion was Final Fantasy IV, and basically I got to the last dungeon and it's impossible. So
Yeah, that tends to happen.
the final dungeon is just so brutal. But like the game Bravely Default, I want to play it. Like I always hear good stuff about it. I actually picked it up because multiple friends recommended it. It has an interesting Street Pass feature. Like you can choose one of your characters to send over Street Pass, basically, so you can have that, so people can have them like come in and use an ability or something.
Huh.
So you can just have like your friends, max level dude, come in and like fire gust stuff for you. But you can use it like every once in a while or something. I forget the exact mechanics of it. I didn't really get to play much of it.
I played the demo of it for like 10 minutes, lost the first battle I got into, and was just like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
and then
I tried the demo, and I was like, eh. But once I actually picked up the game and started like playing it and got into the story, like I enjoyed it. But I think it came out like the time I picked it up was around the time Smash came out. So I just kind of that got set aside and
the yay
Smash
RPG.
happened.
Oh look, Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Like a game I have to invest dozens of hours into to understand the story or beat the shit out of Nintendo characters.
So, who would you put into Smash if you could put one character in? One character. Let's limit it to like Nintendo for now, like a Nintendo-owned franchise.
A couple of years ago, I would have probably said Mega Man, but that happened. So, maybe somebody new from Metroid.
The one I always
like
wanted...
everyone wants Ridley, but then everyone else is like, he's too fucking big. And then they were like, well, he's an assist trophy now, so it's like kind of there.
Like
but...
he has his place as like a boss character in the game, and as much as I would like to see him as a fighter, because yeah, he's big in most games, but like his sprite was the size of Samus in the first one.
Yeah,
like let's be honest,
they
they
baby
could
Ridley.
make like a small Ridley. But
but Bowser, he's usually a boss, and he can be fucking huge sometimes, or the size of Mario. Like, it's not like a big deal to make him a reasonable size. Like, he could still be a big, strong character, and like, but I guess
the one
they
I
usually
would like
make
to see though
big,
is,
strong characters slow.
Yeah,
and
that
Ridley
wouldn't fit
flies, and that would be kind of hard to balance, I guess. So I can kind of understand why.
Do you remember the hunters from Metroid Prime 3?
Yes.
Do you remember Rundas?
The ice dude, yes.
Yeah. They should put him in Smash.
They should.
His final Smash, he could, like, fly around, like, on ice and, like, damage stuff as he, flies through it.
That'd be interesting. Or, like, any of the hunters, really. Like, the dude with the big, like, robot armor thing.
Yeah. I forget the other two hunters' names. I think that, like, the chick, the shapeshifter, I think her name started with a G, and that's all I remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember the mech dude at all. Like, I remember him as a character.
Yeah.
Like, he was a really cool character. He was a really fun to fight boss, but I don't remember his name at all.
Yeah. I guess they were kind of only there for Dark Samus to just murder.
Pretty much.
And then turn against you. It's like...
That was their whole purpose, was for them to be possessed and killed.
Yeah. To make more bosses, really. It's like, these are cool characters, why didn't you do more with them? That's...
Yeah.
It's kind of annoying.
I still haven't played the DS one, Metroid Prime Hunters. It's one of the, like, 2 Metroid games I've never played. But, I know there's a lot of interesting hunters in that one. Like, I've read a bit up on them. I've seen all their, like, pictures and stuff. And there's some cool ones in that, too. And I think any of those characters would fit in Smash. Like, they could totally put some of the other hunters in.
Yeah.
But they don't. And it's... like, I feel like Metroid is very underrepresented with, like, Samus and alternate version of Samus.
Yeah, well, the problem is, like, all of the other main characters are gigantic bosses.
Yeah. But...
I mean, like, the
Yeah.
most iconic characters they could pick from are Samus, Ridley, and Kraid, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they could try Mother Brain, but
Mother Brain's an assist trophy
Yeah.
in the new one, so...
Maybe a space pirate?
A space
that
pirate
could
would be
work.
interesting.
Like
They're
they
varied enough that
They have the
they
kung
could...
fu and then the, like, lasers.
Yeah. I think there's enough, like, variation in space pirates that they could design, like, a special one for Smash.
The final Smash could be like, let's throw Metroids everywhere and they latch onto people. It'd be like the assist trophy Metroid, but there's, like, more of them or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Details aren't important.
Yeah.
But it'd be cool.
They should totally put Master Chief
Well, they
in
could
Smash.
also put, like, Dark Samus in. Like, they put her
Yeah.
in as an assist trophy, and it's like, okay, sure, but they could have put her in as, like, her own character. I
Yeah.
feel that way about a lot of the assist trophies, honestly.
That could totally be doable. I mean, Final Smash, it's like giant meteor and then Phazon everywhere. And everyone's like, oh shit, Phazon, that's bad stuff.
Yeah. But, like, just from what they did with her assist trophy, like, you can tell, like, they could have given her, like, unique moves. But instead we get characters like Dark Pit, which is literally just a pellet swat of Pit.
Oh yeah, that is a thing.
Like, really?
I thought one of the ideas of further Smash games was to have less clones, or no clones where possible.
Yeah. And let's not talk about the fact that they put Dr. Mario back in.
Did they?
Yeah, they put Dr. Mario back in because Mario needs more representation in Smash.
Wait, as his own character or a reskin
As his
of
own
Mario?
character.
Oh, wow.
I mean, yeah, there are some slight differences. His cape is wider, Mario's cape is longer, his pills have a different bounce arc.
That's fucking
These are-
stupid, though.
Like, these are minor differences, and I can understand where they're important from, like, a tournament player
it's
standpoint.
like the difference between Fox and
but-
Falco.
Yeah.
They're basically the same, except, oh, Falco's a little slower but a little stronger.
Well, and, like, at least Fox and Falco have different, like, A moves.
Yeah.
Like, their A combos are still different. They still feel different when you play them. Mario and Dr. Mario, the only difference is, like, where the sweet spot is. Like, for Mario's, like, forward A, the sweet spot is the palm of his hand. For Dr. Mario's, it's his arm.
Huh.
And it's, like, minor differences like that. And I don't know, I feel like that's like a wasted character slot, you know? There's so many
Yeah.
other characters they could have put in, or... Hell, they could have put in... I mean, I will say there's probably too many Pokemon in Smash, especially Gen 1 Pokemon,
Yeah.
but, like, they took the Pokemon trainer out and put in just Charizard. But there's people like me who liked playing Squirtle and Ivysaur, and
And
Instead of
that's what Brawl is for.
instead of Dr. Mario, they could have put in Ivysaur, you know?
Yeah.
Like, or Squirtle.
Or somebody from Metroid.
Or someone from Metroid. Or, hell, someone from F-Zero.
Or they could have taken out half the Fire Emblem characters that most people probably still haven't heard of.
I don't know. Like, Marth, like, I like Marth as, like, a staple. I actually don't mind Lucina. Like, yes, it's girl Marth. But,
So it's Marth.
she plays like Roy played. Because Marth has this mechanic where if you hit people with the tip of his sword, it does a ton of damage.
Mhm.
And you can launch people at like 50% with a strong tip attack. And that's his own playstyle. The way Roy and Lucina played, though, is it was the whole blade dealt more damage, but they don't get any bonus from doing tip attacks. So they're like a little easier to play. You don't have to be as like precise, but you also lose like a lot of the power that he otherwise has. And I kind of prefer playing her to Marth because of that like slight difference. But I still would rather have like a new character in that slot.
Yeah.
But like Ike is fine. Ike I think plays plenty different from Marth.
Yeah, totally.
And I'm totally okay with Robin because Robin is like a completely different kind of character from that series. Because it's not a swordsman, it's a spellcaster more than anything. So, I'm okay with those ones, but yeah. And then there's Shulk, who, like, I can't think of many people who knew who Shulk was before Smash.
Right. It's like when they put Marth and Roy in Melee.
Yeah.
You're like, who the fuck are these guys? Oh, from
What's
that...
Fire Emblem?
Oh,
It's some Japanese game. And then they released it on the Game Boy Advance.
And everyone's like, oh yeah, Fire Emblem!
I still need to play one of those games. I've generally heard good stuff, and I actually do want to pick them up, but...
There's, like... How many even are there? There's, like...
A lot.
I remember it was... I looked it up, and it was like, it started on the NES. Like, that was the first one, and then...
I'm just gonna, put it at a lot, because I don't actually know.
Yeah. Like, I wasn't... It's like a continuous story, I think, but, like it's kind of like hundreds of years between each game or something?
Yeah, something like that. Like, I know most of them stayed in Japan. Like, there were a bunch of old ones, but, like... And they localized a couple of them, like, later for, like, re-releases and stuff, but didn't actually, like, change anything. Like, didn't put in any improvements to, like, the mechanics that were in later games that... And people were kind of bugged about that. But, like, the one thing I know of the story is that Lucina is Marth's descendant by, like, hundreds of years.
Okay.
Like... She's his, like, great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter kind of thing.
It's a lot of greats, I get it.
Yeah, that kind of thing. That's, like, the only thing I really know plot-wise. And, like, Robin, the reason why there's male or female is because that's, like, the player character in the latest one.
Oh, the one where you decide, like...
Yeah.
What they are?
Yeah. So. Because... I guess with those games, like, they always kind of, like, refer to you in a couple of them, like, kind of breaking the fourth wall, like, you're the commander, you're leading the troops, but it wasn't until Robin that, like, that character was actually given, like, an avatar, like, something tangible in the world.
Oh.
So, Robin's kind of unique and cool like that, I guess.
Are you a boy or a girl?
You ask the tough questions.
What are you, Professor Oak?
Or the new Pokemon game. It's just like when you give them your name, it's like, oh, you're that such and such. So, of course, I named myself the Crimson Fucker. So it's you're the that Crimson Fucker. You're moving in next door to me.
Oh, wow.
There's been some good moments.
I can't imagine.
Mostly because, like, I keep picturing it as, like, the Hellsing Abridged thing, and it's like...
The Crimson Fucker!
God, I wish they released those more than once a year. Because they have yet to really, like, drop in quality.
Yeah.
Which is surprising.
I mean, when you have an entire year to work on something, it tends to come out good if you actually work on it.
But are they really working on it? Like,
well, no, not, like, entirely.
Like, if they were really working, like, you know, I mean, I know they're doing, like, other stuff, but, like, if they were, like, you know, writing stuff for that ahead of time, like, a whole year in advance, that would make a lot of sense.
I mean, I imagine they probably work on it, like, off and on throughout the year, like, just... Yeah. You know, spare time. It's like, hey, we're not doing anything. What's something Alucard would say in this situation? And, you know, it's just stuff like that. Is
something burning?
Something's burning.
Oh,
boy.
Like, now that I've watched most of Hellsing Ultimate, I actually still need to watch the final episode. Like, I got caught up all the way to that point, and I just haven't watched it yet. But, like, knowing what's coming ahead, I'm looking forward to what they're gonna do with that. It's like, wonder where they're gonna go with this.
Like, I'm actually kind of curious as to how much I've actually missed by only watching the abridged version. Like, it seems like, from what I've seen, that they've covered the story, like, fairly well and
Yeah, like
appropriately abridged it, because, like, the
Yeah.
episodes are, like, an hour long.
each episode is basically like a movie in and of itself. It's like watching an episode of Doctor Who. You're going to be sitting there for about 45 minutes. But yeah, no, they do a good job of like condensing it, and you don't really miss anything important. Like, you get most of the story in the abridged.
That's good to know.
I can't think of anything they've really left out that's like needed to know.
I should still watch the original eventually, just
Yeah,
whenever I get a chance to.
and you just have like a marathon.
I could have sworn it used to be on Netflix.
Not that I know of.
Maybe it was like the other version. Like, I know I saw a version of Hellsing on Netflix at some point.
It was probably like the first version of Hellsing.
Yeah. Which I had already seen anyway. And I remember, like, nothing of it.
Yeah, it was actually funny, because, like, when they started showing Ultimate on Adult Swim, there was one weekend where I started watching an episode and I realized, wait a minute, I missed something. I missed an episode. And, like, because it didn't click to me, I did something the weekend prior. So I stopped watching, and like the next day I spent like the entire day watching Hellsing Ultimate. Like, originally I was just going to catch up, but I ended up just watching all the way to what I could. And that's when I found out that episode 9 and 10 hadn't been released yet.
Ha!
Like, so those came out a couple weeks later, and I know Adult Swim stopped showing it for a while because they reached the end of what was out.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, they came back and they're like, we're finally gonna air the finale because everyone wants the rest of it. And, I missed it.
Yeah, everyone wants it. You missed it?
Yeah. So that's why I haven't seen the last episode yet. Like, I watched episode 9, like, in preparation for, like, because I didn't realize they had stopped showing them, and I was, in preparation for, episode 10 should be this weekend. And, that's when I realized, like, oh, okay, they're not showing it right now, they're gonna bring it back, and then I just missed it. And I was like, fuck.
Wow. But, yeah, speaking of I remember watching the first version of it, but I don't remember, like, what happened. Like, aside from, like, the first episodes, because it's, like, pretty much the exact same, like,
the first couple
the two guys
episodes
attack
are the
with all the
same.
ghouls, and Alucard fucks them up.
Yeah, from there it's, like,
And
completely
then it's
different.
Yeah. Like, I remember watching it, I don't remember, like, what happened.
Huh.
And now that I'm thinking about it, I can think of at least a few other anime series that I'd watched all the way through, and I try to think about, it's like, what was that even about? Like, I watched it, what happened?
The only scene that sticks out clearly in my head from the Hellsing is, it's like the final scene where he kills the other dude, and there's like this, like, special cross that's, like, melting in the flames, and, like, he, like, as the metal's, like, melting down, he's, like, catching it in, like, what's left of his gun, and he uses that as the bullet to, like, finish off the dude. That's all I remember.
Okay.
That's, like, the only part that sticks out in my mind. The rest of it, it's kind of a blur. There's a few shows like that.
Yeah, like, I definitely remember, Elfen Lied?
Yeah.
I distinctly remember watching the entire thing, because it's like 13 episodes.
Yeah, it's one of the shorter ones.
Cannot tell you what the main character's name is.
Huh.
Or how any of them are related, or what any of them did. I remember there were some fight scenes and they were bloody.
I feel like I knew her name, and now I can't think of it.
Right? Like, it's...
Like, I haven't seen the show, but I feel like I knew her name because
I have seen it, and I can't tell you the main character's name.
I knew someone who was a really big fan, and like, that was like their favorite anime, and God, I can't think of... God, that's gonna bother me now.
I remember being moderately disappointed because it has one of those, we had to end it now, but the manga goes on for like 20,000 more chapters kind of endings.
Mm.
So it was like...
The only time I've seen that done well, I would say, is probably Soul Eater.
Mm-hmm.
I think Soul Eater does that well.
Yeah.
Because they kind of change things near the end there and wrap it up nicely.
Yeah, and then there's just ones where it's like, okay, that's not an ending. That is clearly the manga goes on for another 500 chapters. And we're not getting paid enough money to make it into an actual anime anymore.
Well, hopefully it's not as bad as, like, the last episode of Inuyasha I saw, where it was just like, and they continued on their adventures. That's, like, literally how they ended it.
Seriously?
I think they made more seasons later, but that's how they ended it at the time.
Wow.
Was like, and they kept adventuring. Yay. Like, no, like, resolution of anything. Just like, really? That's it.
You're gonna end it there. I mean, they've got the jewel like 2/3 fixed, and that's just how it ends.
Yeah, I think they went on to make a couple more seasons after that. I don't know. I never actually followed the entire series all the way through.
You could have at least killed off a main character.
Right?
Like the one that everybody likes. Whoever that would be for Inuyasha, I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to pin down.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, there's a few of those shows out there, though, where it's like... I know I've watched that, but... I don't remember all the details.
Trigun was actually... Like, I watched all of Trigun, and, like, I remember... probably a total of 3 episodes. Like, I remember the first episode...
Trigun's good, too.
I know, but I can't remember any of it.
Like, I can remember the one episode that sticks out in my mind is the flashback episode that's near the end.
That's, like, the one that I remember the best.
And I think part of the only reason why I remember that episode so well is that was the first episode I ever saw. Like, back when I was a kid, I saw that episode and I was like, I was so confused. I had, like, the biggest, like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And, later when I rewatched through the series, like, when I got it on DVD, I hit that point and I'm like, this all makes sense now? Because it's, like, 20 episodes in?
Yeah.
But until I hit that point again, like, it was still just like, what the fuck?
Exactly. Like I'm fairly clearly remember the first episode. I vividly remember the flashback episode, and then, like, I have, like, bits and pieces of the last episode. Like, I think he almost blows up the whole planet or something by accident or something. Like,
something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I have some vague memories of, like, the final fight scene. I could probably, like, draw a scene from it if I was capable of drawing things perfectly from, like, what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
And, like, I'd be able to draw a scene from it, but I couldn't tell you exactly what was going on. Like, I don't know how to articulate it.
Yeah.
I think the shows that stick with me the most are either ones I've seen multiple times or ones that had, like, a huge, like, emotional impact on me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fucking Code Geass. Like, that entire show is vivid in my mind. I mean, yeah, I've watched it a few times, but there's some scenes that, even though I've seen them multiple times, I cry like a fucking baby. It's sad.
Yeah, I've only watched through
it
entirely once, but yeah, I do remember, like, the majority of it. Like, I could tell you most of the characters' names, what they did.
Yeah.
How a few of them died, like, I remember most of it.
Death Note's another one like that. I've actually only watched through all of Death Note once. Mm-hmm. And I vividly remember a good chunk of it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a couple episodes I saw twice because, like, I caught them on TV, like, when I was catching episodes here and there, and then saw them again when I watched through it completely, beginning to end, but that's another one where it's like, it sticks in your mind.
Yeah. Like, it's just weird how that happens. Like, even with a good anime like Trigun, you can watch it all and just not remember it.
Yeah. It's pretty nuts. I'm trying to think of other stuff that, like, I can remember clearly, and I'm trying to disqualify stuff I've watched recently. So, things like, Cat Planet Cuties probably doesn't count. That's a little too recent. Though, I don't know. It's kind of hard to forget that anime. It's so, Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the word.
Cat puns.
Cat puns, the show. The first 2 episodes are like nothing but cat puns. It's glorious.
It's like somebody had the idea, hey, I want to make an anime about cat puns. Where do we go with that?
Well, let's make hot cat girls from space.
Perfect! The obvious next step is to make it about cat girls. But how do we explain cat girls actually existing? We'll make them from space. I don't fucking know. You're the writer.
Oh, fine. No, maybe from space. Sure.
Maybe there's dog girls and they're evil. It also opens up a huge branch of dog puns.
Yep.
Yeah. You realize, of course, that we are required by law to use barking up the wrong tree at least once.
Like, if we don't use this, we'll just disappoint all our fans.
Hypothetical fans. We don't even have fans yet. We are still writing this thing.
You know, like, now that I've started collecting figurines, I actually wouldn't mind getting, because there's, like, the one that's actually in the show, but they actually have that as an actual figurine you can get of, like, the main character, Eris. And, like, I wouldn't mind actually having that now that I'm starting to, like, collect those. Not really on purpose, I'm just starting to collect those. I've yet to buy a figurine myself. They've all been gifts. But it's too late now. I have 3. That's how it starts.
You don't want to go down that road.
Sure I do. Well, I guess the Final Fantasy ones do count. So, I've bought 5.
Clearly what you need to do is learn how to do stop-motion animation.
Oh, God. That'd be interesting for the ones that are, like, posable.
Yeah.
Like the Final Fantasy ones. What I need to do is I need to get the Link one. Because, you know, that one's pretty good. I need to get the posable Samus one in her armor. Instead of just Zero Suit up there.
Why would you want anything else?
She looks so sassy.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. So it's like the kind of pose she's making. But yeah, I don't know. That's like my dream. Have like a room that's just like video game and anime figurines. And like that'd be next to the room that's just dragons.
Yeah, I would want a room that's just wall-to-wall shelves of every video game ever.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah. And consoles, obviously, because otherwise wouldn't be able to play them.
Like, if I were to start trying to get complete collections of video game systems, I'd probably start with the PlayStation 1. Even though it's like a really big library, it's like the one that's nearest to my heart. Because, like, I grew up on the PlayStation 1. That is my system. I love it. So that'd be the one I'd start with. Plus, there's a lot of games that I want to play that are, you know, at this point, you'd have to be a collector to justify it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like, Misadventures of Trombone is like $200.
Shit.
Team Buddies is, I want to say it was like 120 last time I looked it up, and it's been going up. Like, the first time I looked it up, like a year ago, it was at like 80.
Wow.
Yeah. So, that sucks.
Like, oh my god, this game from my childhood that I want to play again. Oh, it's $300.
Why? See, and I'd have to, like, re-get copies of, like, Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VIII, because there's technically nothing wrong with mine, but they don't have their original cases.
Oh.
So, like, from a collector's standpoint, because what I did was I took them out of their cases and put them into, like, individual cases, so I could put them in that, like, CD rack I have them all in. Because I didn't really have room for all the double cases, but now it's like, if I want to collect these, I have to re-get the double cases. One day. But yeah, I'd probably start with PlayStation 1 and then, I don't know, maybe 64. 64 would be a cool collection.
Yeah. I would probably start with the Dreamcast for nostalgia.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. I don't know exactly how big the library is, but
I think it has a smaller library, but there's some, like, expensively rare titles.
yeah. Because it wasn't around as long as, the fucking PlayStation. And the PS2 was the thing that killed it, so... Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a better idea than trying to collect for the Saturn or the Sega CD. Spend a minor fortune on a game.
On, like, a shelf's worth of games.
No, just on, like, one game.
And now that I think about it, Sega did not have good luck making consoles.
They did not.
The Genesis was the only successful one they made.
Yeah.
Because the Saturn bombed, the Dreamcast got killed by the PS2 after, like, a year, and nobody talks about the Sega CD.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot on the Sega CD, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like, what was there? I mean, Night Trap.
Full motion video, though!
It's good in theory, and I think, honestly, if someone tried to make, like, a game in that style now, like, maybe not, like, live action, but still that, like, full motion video style, because those games are actually kind of cool in concept, but they didn't play well, and I think you could still do something like that,
and
it'd be good.
There have been games that have used full motion video that have been successful, like the Myst series uses a lot of that, like, even...
Yeah. Or, hell, the Don Bluth games.
Oh, yeah, Dragon...
Dragon Lair?
I was like, Dragon something. Yeah.
Dragon's Lair and
I was like,
Space
Dragon
Ace.
Quest. No. Space Lair.
Space Lair! Dragon Ace!
Like, my first thought was, like, Dragon Quest. I was like, no, that's a different game. And then it was like, Space Quest. That's right. That's the one.
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
yeah.
I've never played those myself, but I've heard good stuff about them.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I think you could do something like that. Like, even Night Trap wasn't bad in concept. It was just, like, the acting was terrible, the control was terrible, it's, like, damn near impossible to beat. You have to have a guide, and even then you're probably gonna fail.
Because there's, like, an element of randomness to it that you can't really account for, even in a guide.
There's, like, one particular scene where the timing is questionable. Yeah. Like, I'm sure you've watched the Game Grumps playthrough.
I did.
They died at that part.
That's the only reason I've even heard of it.
Yeah, they died at that part. I tried playing through it when we got those, like, 8 billion copies at the shop, and I died at that same part.
Huh.
So, yeah, something about that part has, like, weird timing. I'm not sure what's up with that one.
Maybe you just suck at it.
Probably. Probably. God, though, like, I want to know who took the time to figure out, like, all the spawn times and locations. 'Cause that had to take some kind of crazy, like, obsessive dedication. 'Cause it's like, there's some that are literally seconds apart.
Wow. And going back to the full motion video and, like, because Night Trap was supposed to be, like, kind of a horror game, but it was, like, that cheesy 80s, not scary in the slightest kind of horror.
Troll 2 is probably scarier.
Probably, yeah, from what I've seen. But, like, the full motion video, it would be interesting to see that used in, like, a real attempt at a genuine horror game. Like with the security camera mechanics, like Five Nights at Freddy's, but with full motion video kind of stuff.
Huh, that'd be interesting.
Something like that. That'd be an interesting mechanic to explore, I think.
It'd basically be like making an interactive horror movie.
Pretty much.
Like that's the attempt they went with Night Trap, but it was awful. And like potentially they could use that same concept, but just do it better.
Yeah, like the watching security cameras and manipulating the environment with like a control panel kind of thing.
Yeah.
But all the cameras have, like, the full motion video and stuff.
Whenever I think of security cameras anymore, I just think of that, like, game concept you've mentioned where, like, it's asymmetrical and you have, like, one person actually doing stuff and the other person being the intel.
Oh, yeah,
like...
my stealth game idea.
Yeah. like, every time I think of security cameras now, like, even stuff like Five Nights at Freddy's, like, it just makes me think of that game idea. And I'm like, God, that'd be so cool. Like, it'd be perfect for the Wii U.
It would. Oh, totally. I didn't even think of that. Like
gamepad is your security cameras and stuff, and the other person plays on the screen, and like, it'd be awesome.
It would be.
And it would be perfect for the Wii U. But it is a dream that is unlikely at best.
It's in the distant future.
Yeah.
At best.
At best. Like, if we were to try to make it, by the time we made it, like, Wii U wouldn't be a relevant, like, platform to be aiming for.
But with Nintendo, they'll probably run with a similar concept in the future.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I mean, I feel like we could probably speed up the development of future games if we make fucking a game at all ourselves.
Yeah,
and get it out there so people know about us. Just like, hey, we made this game. And everyone was like, what game? Oh, that game. Okay.
Yeah.
But
as we both know, programming is a nightmare.
It is. Which is why I revisit my suggestion of we work on the art, make it look as close to what we want it to look like as possible, and go out there with that. And show everyone that, and be like, this is what we want it to look like. We need it to play as good as it looks.
Basically just, like, put together faux screenshots using, like, really well put together sprites and background art.
Yeah, like, basically, do what everyone does at E3 and make a really good, like, pre-rendered trailer. And just be like, okay, this is what we want. We need people to help us make this.
Okay.
Except we'd be honest about how shitty the game actually is versus how it looks.
Yeah, okay.
Like, basically, we just need to make a really good mock-up for now.
Yeah. Thinking of it from that perspective, I can see going with the art first and, like, doing kind of like a, well, this is what we want it to look like, and we just need some programming help because we're terrible at it.
We are artists, not programmers, and there's a reason for that.
I mean, I've definitely dabbled in programming. I took, like, 3 classes, but...
Mm-hmm. I looked up tutorials on the internet.
Yeah, it's still, like... It's one of those things where I just don't completely wrap my head around the concept. I mean, hell, even the third of my classes, Tim was in that class.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the greater portion of that class was group projects. Like, we'd pair. Yeah. So I'd pair with Tim. He'd go in and change something in the code. I'd change all the sprites. Every single sprite. I'd change the trees to be like disco trees, and I changed the warrior to be Moon Boy, and he moonwalked everywhere, and everything was all techno-colored, and
the problem I have with programming is that I know how little pieces of it work. I can't make them all work together without horribly ruining something.
Yeah.
Because I've got, like, 80% of a game, like, done, my little 8-bit wizard kind of game.
Yeah.
There are just some parts of it that keep it from being, like, something that I would charge 99 cents for at all.
Yeah, I getcha. Yeah. As far as I go with programming, like, I can deconstruct stuff alright. Like, I can be like, okay, this does this does this. But I don't know how to apply it after I've deconstructed it.
Exactly, and...
That's my biggest issue.
Yeah, so...
But yeah.
We just need a very elaborate concept and a mock-up of what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can catch attention from somebody who's actually good at programming, and they'll be like, yeah, I'll get in on this. I can do this for you. And we'll be like, yay, we're actually making a fucking game. Like, we'll do the writing and the art and everything, you just make it play.
Yeah. We just need someone to make it do what we want it to do.
I want the character to jump when you press A, shoot when you press B, go left and right when you press left and right.
And, you know, then there's all, like, the special abilities and stuff that we want to work into, and we can be like, how much of a pain in the ass would this be?
Tremendously.
Okay, are you still willing to do it?
Oh man, programming is a fucking nightmare though.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I finally got it to do this. Why isn't it doing the other thing now? Fuck.
I still like our current issue with like getting it to work with ladders. Like, okay, we can climb up, but if you try to go down, like gravity is still applying to the character despite my best effort to turn it off. And when you press down, you just rapidly go down, and as soon as you hit the ground, you go flying off to the right.
Yeah.
Like until you hit a wall. It's beautiful. I think it's beautiful.
And there's also the corner collision thing where if you jump at the wrong angle into the bottom edge of a corner, it sends you a million miles into the air.
Same if you're falling, it'll just rocket you to the
Yeah.
ground.
As long as there's
I
something,
like that bug. It's funny.
as long as there's something for you to actually hit, because it would just send you to like negative 10 million immediately.
Yeah, I definitely have to make sure there's a flooring.
Yeah. We got doors to work though,
Yeah, no,
based on
it took a while, but we did
yeah.
it.
Because there's like that one tutorial. It's like, okay, this is how you make it change rooms by going off screen. And I was like, I could totally make that work for a door. It's simple. You just stand on it, and it doesn't actually do anything until you press the button. And it took us like 5 hours to actually make it do that.
Yeah, if I remember, so the issue you were having is the player would like collide with the door object and get like stuck, like it was hitting it like it was a wall.
Yeah.
And I figured out that it was because the player was set as a solid object, and the player doesn't need to be set as a solid object.
And I thought it did, because otherwise I thought it would like not actually collide with anything at all, so you could just fall through the floor, which apparently was not a thing.
Yeah, no, that's what like, is it touching floor code is for.
Yeah.
But yeah, setting stuff as solid objects is kind of like the easy way of doing that, because they'll just naturally collide with each other. But
doing it with code is more... It works better, it's just a pain in the ass to get working correctly.
Well, the issue there is, like, anything that's solid will not be able to collide with anything that's solid. So, like, the player wouldn't be able to climb ladders or go through doors. But we fixed it.
Yeah.
So, we've made progress. I mean, granted, this progress was, like, 4 months ago now.
Yeah.
Maybe longer.
And it's not like the first ever Gun Wizard concept art went up in 2012 or anything. No.
God, it was 2012.
It was.
Damn, dude. That's nuts.
I did like that shitty stick figure concept of the final boss. It's like, yeah, there's going to be platforms here, he's going to be here, and he's going to have big arms that go over here and here, and yeah.
Yeah.
It was like super rough, sketchy concept. Like, to demonstrate the concept, not even the design. Just like, big boss in room, fight.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn. And like, I've actually, because every once in a while, like, that topic of, like, game design and stuff will come up, and I've talked with a couple, like, different people about the idea of Gun Wizard, and, like, people are interested. Like, they like the concept of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if we made this, there's definitely an audience for it out there.
Well, I guarantee, I mean, there's an audience for Metroidvanias in general, so I feel like...
Fair enough.
It's almost kind of a cheat just using that concept because it's a concept that people like, but it's a concept that people like. And we're making it because we like that kind of game too.
Yeah.
So it's not just, let's make something people will buy, let's make something that we would buy too.
Yeah. That's kind of like my biggest thing. It's like, I want to make a game that I want to play.
Yeah.
And I just want to, like, sit there and speedrun.
Maybe not speed, well, I mean, yeah, it's the Metroidvania, those are known for being speedrunnable, so... Yeah, I guess.
I'm sure, like, even if we do get, like, near perfect coding, someone will find, like, some weird bug that'll let them, like, sequence break the hell out of everything.
Oh, totally.
Granted, like, we still kind of want it to be a little free-roamy. Like, you don't have to go to this area right away.
Yeah.
You could go to this area instead, but... We'll see how that all pans out.
It's just... It's also going to be a pain in the ass finding time to work on it. Like,
Yeah. Between jobs and
Life and
Yeah.
having to record Gaming Wizards too.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess...
I think that's, like, part of how a lot of, like, indie developers end up being successful is, like, the ones who just, like, completely do it on their own, like, they kind of dedicate themselves to it, and, like, we just have too many other things that we want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
I want to draw comics. I want to do Flash animation. I want to do YouTube videos. I want to start a rock band.
Wait, you want to start a rock band too? Dude, we should start a rock band together!
We totally should. And it can be comic shorts themed, like everything we fucking do.
We can be the Rock Wizards.
But in all seriousness, that is like the only thing we haven't done so far.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, like, hell, like, today we're doing recording for Gaming Wizards. Yesterday I was doing recording for Zanshlou Gaming.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, God, my life is just going to be recording video games, isn't it? And I'm not going to get anything for it. It's just going to be me doing it because I want to.
You should be so lucky.
It's just going to be me doing it because I want to, and I'm just going to be penniless.
Someday we'll be able to say, yeah, we make $5 a week from YouTube revenue.
Man, that's reaching. That's some high dreams.
It really is. Like, right now I'm looking at, like, $50 out of the 100 you need to actually get anything.
Like, after pull anything out.
Yeah, after having, like, my AdSense account for, like, three or 4 years now.
Yeah, and we have, what did you say, like 400 some videos?
Yeah, like 480 something.
Progress.
We just have to keep making stuff, and eventually somebody will be like, hey, these are worth watching.
Eventually we'll hit that point where we're actually worth watching. Like, I'm gonna be honest, there are some of our videos, like some particular game series, where it's just not fun to watch. It's just, like, uninteresting. Like,
yeah.
We do have our dead moments, but I think we're getting better.
I think we're definitely getting better, and not in the least because we have good equipment now.
Yeah.
Like...
Well, like, having better, like, recording equipment definitely helps, but I think
does.
just, like, banter-wise, we're getting better.
Yeah. It feels, like, more... Like... I'm more interested in saying stuff that I know is not going to be, like...
Right.
Like, wow, that's, like, more static than actual voice.
Yeah, good times.
Ugh.
But, you know, who knows what the future holds? We may just randomly explode.
We're having fun, and that's what matters.
Yeah. So, like, my secret hope is that my project, Zanshlou Gaming, explodes, and that kind of, like, trickles into Gaming Wizards and helps Gaming Wizards expand. Because it'd be nice to, like, you know, like, yeah, this is fun, and we're doing it, but, like, I've put some decent money into this, and it would be nice to see
if anybody watched it ever.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like any content creator. You want someone to enjoy your content.
Yeah, it's not like, we're gonna put out 10 videos a day just because we know somebody's watching it. Like, we make stuff that people would want to watch.
Yeah.
Versus, like... Oh, we're playing Minecraft Part 5 million. Today I got a piece of coal.
Welcome to Minecraft Part 760,000. Today I'm almost done with the item sorter that I was building based on that YouTube I found on how to build an item sorter.
And by the time I finish building it, an update will have broken all the redstone circuitry I use, so there's really no point in this anyway.
That's like my biggest, like, dread right now.
Is that an update will just break your redstone?
Completely destroy my item sorter that is that I'm actually the one I'm actually using.
Oh boy. Well, it's happened before. I have builds where that secret passages don't work anymore because the redstone timing is like a billionth of a millisecond higher or lower than it used to be.
That sucks.
Like, god damn it, now I have to go through and change them all to this new circuit design I found and hope that that one doesn't get broken.
Yeah.
I feel like we're too far in to start talking about Minecraft all of a sudden. We're an hour in.
Yeah, no, I think
we're-
we can save Minecraft for next time.
Or any other time.
Because there's a lot of stuff to talk about when it comes to Minecraft.
There really is. But maybe we'll do that in a future episode of SpellCast because we're done here. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week, hopefully.
Butts!
Butts?
Butts. I don't know why, but I've had this weird thing with butts recently. Just
Butts.
the word butts.
Butts.
Like, it doesn't have anything to do with actual butts. I don't care about actual butts. It's just the word butts.
What's wrong with butts? You got something against butts?
No. I'm just not obsessed with butts themselves. I'm obsessed with the word butts.
It's a pretty funny word. Like, just completely out of context. Just randomly say butts.
There was one time when I was on Final Fantasy and one of our group was like hanging out in this city that I was in, and like I walked up right behind his character and I like whispered and I was like, butts.
Butts.
And then I just kind of ran off. But he wasn't actually like paying attention, so like later he was like, why did you whisper me butts? I was like, you missed it. Like, I like just kind of like slowly walked up behind your character and then whispered it to you.
Butts.
Butts.
Yeah, it might help to have the mic in the place it's actually going to be.
Yeah, and sit in the place we're actually going to be. And fart in the place we're gonna fart.
No, this is not Oddworld.
Ow.
That's a thing, though, in Oddworld.
Too late.
More so in the second game, but yeah.
And I'll take a potato chip and eat it!
No! That was necessary.
Yes. I actually just wanted a potato chip.
Well, you got what you wanted, didn't you, John?
I always get what I want. Bitch. That subtle just scoot over slightly.
Yeah, I'm just gonna not be right here anymore.
Oh yeah, another news. I tried to launch that video editing software, and whenever I try to start a new project, it crashes.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Wonder why that is.
Because I was gonna mess with one of our Chrono Trigger test recordings. The one where I was like, Tyranno penis.
How about that menu music for trying? I feel like this isn't the best like place to be. Well, I guess you could, because
I figured it'd give us a good comparison of like
yeah,
the game music audio versus our audio, unless there's like this drastic difference between
yeah.
in-game audio and like menu audio.
Well, because in game there's going to be like all kinds of action and stuff, but
Well, yeah, but still.
I don't know. I guess that's the whole point of test recording. So we'll see how things go.
I think ideally we want to be like substantially.
Substantially.
Fuck words.
Did you forget how to words?
Yeah, I do that a lot. But we need to be higher than the music at the very least, like
Obviously.
by quite a bit, just to account for that.
Yeah, quite. Another thing we could do would do audio recording in Audacity and game recording in Fraps, but you know, that's
But then you have to like sync it up, and
because that takes all of 10 seconds.
that's 10 extra seconds.
It takes like about 5 seconds. Hell, I don't know. Where's the gun?
It's plugged in.
Huh.
Let's see.
I'm not. this. Mouse one keyboard. Oh, there we go. Wait, is there... Can you not select?
Gamepad. There.
Okay, so yeah. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Hey, and it would be synced. Just saying.
What?
That's how you sync. Like, when you record audio separately. Just go into a game menu and say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So then you sync your voice up with the menu changes. It takes like 15 seconds.
That's 15 whole seconds.
And?
Plus perhaps
It's really not.
it is.
It's really not. It's really not. As long as you have at least a terabyte hard drive, it's fine.
Which is all fine and dandy, except I actually have stuff on my
So do I, except I have a whole extra hard drive that's like just for videos, and it's like almost not full at all.
I keep like most of my stuff on my external,
Hmm.
which is like 3 terabytes, 2 terabytes. It's a lot.
Well, shit, man. Why is the recording going over 5 minutes?
So I don't think I actually set it to test mode.
Oh, so we're actually live right now.
Yeah, it's not like anyone actually goes through the live.
Yeah, I know. It's just like...
I mean, even when we're doing the test, like, preview, we're technically live on my art channel. Because that's where it default puts the preview.
Huh. Interesting.